Hey fellas, good morning. It's Monday, the 17th. I got a phone call from a young man about an hour ago, and he was very upset and wanted to talk. And since I know him, and he's a really, really good young man, I spent some time on the phone with him. And before I take my tired ass back to bed, I want to tell you what we talked about. He asked me, should it matter that the woman he wants to have in his life right now, mind you, he's 23, he's got another year, another 18 months of schooling, and he'll come out with a mechanical engineering degree with a minor in computer science. I'll tell you the same thing I told him. The woman in your life's reputation has an effect on you. Whether you want to accept that as a fact or not, it doesn't change the truth about the matter. The girl in question is, I guess it's now referred to as a 304. We called them hoes back when I was up. She's a hoe. And she's 30 years old. He's 23. Now, you have to sit a young man down every once in a while and tell him that gentlemen, sex is not a relationship. Having sex with a willing partner is not a relationship. And older women who are up against it, and of course she's a single mother, older women who are up against it are looking to find a guy that can provide a life not only for her child. I don't fault the woman, but not a lot of young men are told the truth about these things. You want to start a family with your child, with your progeny, with your family. You don't want to have another man or another family involved in your life because you accepted a woman into your life or couldn't keep her legs closed or didn't want to keep her legs closed. For whatever her reasoning is, you have to bear that reputation. You have to bear her reputation if you want her in your life. This guy's a scholar athlete. And I'm telling you the same things I told him. And whether you agree with me or not, this is just the way it is. If you show up at a meeting or we get together with your wives at the country club, when I used to go to the country club, and you show up with some bimbo on your arm that can't carry a conversation, looks like a bimbo, has way too much fucking makeup on, piercings all over the place, neck tattoos, face tattoos, hand and arm tattoos. She doesn't conduct herself like a lady. You can't carry on a conversation with her. You can't even do a pleasant introduction with her because she's into that life. She's into being a female thug or a gangster or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm trying not to be grumpy, but I'm old and I need my sleep. You cannot mistake sex for a relationship. I don't care, fool around, do whatever you want, but until you have proven yourself in society that you can not only take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and financially, you shouldn't have anybody else in your life. Unless she comes from a good, traditional family with a support group. That's her support group, is a good woman from a traditional family. They'll help you out. They'll put you up for a week or a few nights so you can get your shit together. Anyways, if you do not believe that women use sex to control a man, you're sadly mistaken. It's been that way forever and ever and ever. So, and again, I'm not blaming this woman. This young man has a very bright future. And proposing to or getting engaged to a woman not only with a child, but a woman with a past of being used and abused. So it'll affect your life. It'll affect every aspect of your life, especially if you're trying to get into business. You lose a massive amount of respect as a man to have a 304, a hoe, a loose woman in your life. That's it. In business, if you show up at a function at the country club, and I'll use the country club, and she is just a very low quality woman from the streets, no one's going to do business with you. You know why? And they're not going to hire you for the position you want. You know why? Because we can't trust your judgment. You've been pussy whipped. You're not looking forward. Anyways, he didn't like what I had to say, but he said he'd mull it around. And his family, I know this young man's family. He comes from a very good, semi-important family here in El Paso, and I think he wanted me to tell him something that he wanted to hear, and evidently I agreed with his family. So you have to, as a man, establish yourself in the world before you can take on somebody else and their problems. And if that somebody else is a 304 or a hoe, and they have a child by another man, you are not only taking on that person, you're taking on that other little person's life and whoever that's connected to, that man, his family, etc., etc., etc. All right, I've had enough. Love you guys, but you can get, I call it pussy on the brain. And there's a lot of guys that aren't having sex on a regular basis out here. And what I mean about sex is I'm talking about there's someone else in the room. I'm not talking about masturbating. I'm talking about having intimate intercourse with another person. Okay? You have to establish yourself in the world, be able to take care of yourself, and have enough financial success to support yourself and somebody else. And their reputation matters. It will affect every aspect of your life. All right? Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, you have to take care of yourselves. I'm telling you, women wait at the finish line. Women gauge being with a guy on potential. What can he do for me? It is how they protect themselves. Don't hold it against them, but don't be dumb walking around there like some bobo clown, like you don't know what's going on. And anyways, all right, I'm beating this subject up. Bye-bye, guys. I'm going to bed. Bye.